Alfred Ngaro, question number 5.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister for Building and Housing. How many families is the government budgeting to benefit from the new HomeStart program, and how will prospective homeowners be able to find their eligibility?
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, the government has budgeted $435 million for HomeStart grants over the next 5 years, in which we expect 90,000 first home buyers to access the extra support of up to $20,000 to buy a new home. The grant entitlement rules do vary according to a person's income, the house price by region, and the number of years that they have contributed to KiwiSaver. Housing New Zealand tomorrow will be launching a new website and information campaign to highlight the scheme and to encourage uptake.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Alfred Ngaro.
What deposit would an average family earning the average wage with no other savings be able to access in a higher cost housing market like Auckland? And what other support does the government have available to help them secure a mortgage?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, the new HomeStart package would mean that a typical Auckland couple, each earning $50,000 each per year, who have been in KiwiSaver for 5 years, would be able to withdraw $35,000. This is a greater amount because of the legislation we passed last week that enables them to withdraw their government contributions, the employer contribution, as well as their own savings. They will also be eligible tomorrow for a new HomeStart grant of $20,000 for a new home, giving them a total deposit of $55,000 with no other savings. Tomorrow we are also changing the eligibility rules for the Welcome Home loans. So this same couple would be able to purchase a home with a 10% deposit and a government guarantee on a house up to a value of $550,000.
Supplementary question, Phil Troyford.
Is he aware that his own figures show that only an additional 40,000 people will be eligible, and the $212 million budget that he is gloating about means a miserable $2,000 on average for each prospective homeowner under his policy? And with Auckland house prices rising at $1,700 a week, what is he going to do when 8 days' worth of house price inflation wipes out his policy and he's back at square one?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, firstly I would note that house price inflation under this government has been significantly lower than what it was under Labor. During 1999 to 2008, house prices more than doubled. They went up by more than 28% in a single year. Now, what we know is that government doesn't control house prices. What it can do is help young families pull together a deposit for a home, and as a consequence of our policy tomorrow, there will be up to 90,000 families over the next 5 years get a grant of up to $20,000, and I think that's great news.
Order. Supplementary question, Marama Fox.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What changes has the government made to the scheme in response to concerns from the Māori Party that access to KiwiSaver savings and government support has not been available to homes on Māori land?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, the 2006 KiwiSaver law did discriminate against access to KiwiSaver funds and grants if a person was buying a house on multiply owned Māori land. This issue was raised by the Māori Party with the government during the policy development of HomeStart. We believe it was an error by the previous government and should be corrected, and that is why we with the Māori Party last week passed a change in the law that will enable young Māori families to access both the withdrawal and the HomeStart grants for multiply owned Māori land in the same way that every other New Zealander has access to these schemes.
Question number 6, David Seymour.
Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Minister for the Environment and reads as follows. Does he